So Boruto episode 214 just dropped, and this is the episode where we get the long-awaited Isshiki reveal and also the Kashin Koji reveal, which was very nice. Briefly, this episode is an okay episode actually. I think it wasn't what a lot of people expected the episode to be. There were some shots in the episode which were a little disappointing and were clearly just drawn over from the manga. I think a lot of people expected this episode to be on par with like 65 or 204, but it doesn't seem like they wanted to put their animation budget into this one. So besides that fact, I think the episode is still good plot wise, and it wasn't bad, but I do think some things could have been better. Now, I will say the scene leading up to Ishiki's revival was done really well, and they really did a good job at building up the anticipation for when Isshiki actually comes back to life. So they pretty much explained that those flames that Kashin Koji summoned last episode were flames from this mountain that were natural, and Isshiki cannot actually absorb it. However, Isshiki can actually shrink these flames because he can shrink anything that is a non-living thing. And I think I actually messed up a theory pretty recently where I said that he was going to shrink a certain person, and I've totally forgot that his jutsu doesn't work for human beings. Kind of like how Sasuke presses Amato about his plan, and Sasuke the whole time has been actually digging holes into Amato's plan and sort of exposing the flaws that he's been saying, which Amato usually has a counter argument for most of the stuff that Sasuke brings up, which kind of proves that, Amato's still a couple of steps ahead. But really the only person in that room that's catching on to Amato is Sasuke, and that's just because of Sasuke's, analytical skills. Not even like Shikamaru's like fully catching on. I think it's mainly because Shikamaru is still in some sort of distress because of his son Chikadai. But pretty much Amato says that Isshiki will show up in Kawaki's body. Isshiki will just pop up in the Leaf Village, but Amato explains that because Jigen is ready to be Ishiki's vessel, Kawaki won't be killed and Isshiki won't resurrect. Now the reason for that is because Kawaki's not 100% Otsutsuki yet. The karma will not activate in him, and we kind of see him actually start spazzing out on the floor, and his karma activates, and then all of a sudden it disappears. Now I love how they did this scene in the anime. They really did emphasize it like a sort of like a seizure type reaction and then Kawaki passing out. And I think the emotions during that scene from like Boruto and everything like that were pretty great too. Now this is kind of just a way to prevent duplicates, because you don't want like 3 Momoshikis running around, 3 Ishikis running around. So only one karma will actually be used for the resurrection. Now here's the part where it might get a little bit controversial on people's opinions of this episode. Now when Isshiki was first resurrected, he looked really good. He looked sort of just like the manga panel, which I think it was just a manga panel covered over and just animated. I've actually seen a actual like drawing of this before, so it didn't really surprise me to what it would look like. He kind of changes appearances during the fight. After thinking about it and after looking at it again, I don't think Isshiki looks horrible. He looks okay in some scenes. Now there's also another point to where Naruto seems really worried for Kashin Koji, similar to how he did for Jiraiya, and then later on in that episode we get revealed that Kashin Koji's actually Jiraiya, and that Isshiki says he's doomed with the same fate as, the person he's a clone of. And the Kashin Koji reveal shouldn't shock a lot of people. Honestly, if you've been watching the anime for like the past 30 episodes, it was a really easy guess, when we first saw the Rasengan. I mean, it could only limit it down with a certain amount of people, but I think the thing with the Kashin Koji reveal was that like a lot of people had theorized it was a new character when it first was revealed that he could do the Rasengan, and people were like bringing up like cousins, uncles, and things of that nature. So even though it might have seemed like an easy reveal, I guess, it was one of those things that really made you think about who it could really be. I did like the Kashin Koji reveal. I did like him using Sage Mode. I kind of like how they're now setting up this next fight for Isshiki coming to the Leaf Village for Kawaki. And it seems like they're all hands on deck, right? Sort of reminds me of when Pain came to the Leaf Village, but this time they actually have a little bit of prep time for Isshiki, because if Isshiki comes to the Leaf Village, they're assuming that he will sort of destroy it to find Kawaki. So it seems like we'd be getting a repeat of similar events to when the Leaf Village was destroyed. But I do like this one scene in the Isshiki fight to where Kashin Koji thinks he almost won against Isshiki, but he summons like these flames and he has this Rasengan, so he's attacking Isshiki from both sides, right? And I really like how they show Jiraiya's like sort sort of craftiness through Kashin Koji, and sort of that shinobi thing where it's like you have to sort of outsmart your opponents at times, even though you might not be stronger than your opponent. More so a matter of outsmarting them and coming up with things to overcome them. But Isshiki still managed to overpower Kashin Koji and summon the pillar on him. Honestly, overall, I give this episode probably like a 7 out of 10. They're kind of going into this next fight pretty fast, so we're kind of, I guess we're getting to the climax of the Isshiki arc. It seems like Konohamaru is actually going to be fighting in this next episode, so Konohamaru will be put into a hospital for the 4th time in like 3 weeks. Oh man, that man cannot catch a break. But I don't think he's gonna get hurt. It looks like Naruto is coming in to save him. But yeah, shout out to Konohamaru. I really think they're setting up Konohamaru for some really cool stuff after the time skip. So very excited to see that. And it seems like Isshiki is going to start his invasion into the Leaf next episode. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy. Let me hear your opinions on the episode. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Discord. And I'll see y'all later. Peace. So